Hello. In the last class, we studied about the author. We started with the chapter Japan and Brazil Through a Traveler's Eye by George Mikes. So, we started with the information about George Mikes and we we started knowing about a travel writing. How if travel writing is when a person visits different places and writes down what he sees there, the culture, the religion, the people, whatever he witnesses or sees there, he puts down into a writing. So that is called travel writing. So now we shall begin with the chapter. Okay, so just to brief what we did in the last class, see, we have seen about George Mikes. He was an Hungarian born British journalist. He was a humorist and a writer. It is a travelogue that what we are reading is a travelogue. It is a story which is written about Japan and Brazil. Okay, and he was an European who loves traveling. Who doesn't love traveling? Everyone loves traveling. So here he tries to put down what he sees and visits. Okay, so here he gives a brief note in a funny way and a superficial idea of Japan and Brazil. Okay, so what is superficial in Japan and Brazil? So we shall be looking at it. And the travel writing. Okay, the travel writing, it's writing one's experience of traveling and visiting places. Okay, so where we come across different cultural background, different people, different caste. Okay, and in the second century all this was in the form of diary. Okay, people was to put down all these things in the diary, but in the 9th century new techniques of navigation and sea voyages, okay, it started beginning, and we started traveling more. Okay, and now already it's for 50 years. From 50 years, travel and tourism has became a subject like any other subjects like sociology, psychology, English, or business accounts. Okay, so similarly travel and tourism has became a subject, a course in colleges. Okay, so that is what it says. And yeah, travelogue. What is travelogue? It is a film, a book, or illustrated lecture about the places visited by or experiences of a traveler. So I already told you that a traveler visits different places and writes down the experiences and whatever he goes through when he travels. So that is called travelogue. Okay, so this lesson is a travelogue. So now we shall start the lesson. Okay, this is the pre-reading activity given in your textbook. So the first question is, do you like traveling? Does it enhance one's mental horizon? So yeah, obviously, right? Who doesn't like traveling? Everyone wants to travel to different places, and especially you feel so calm and at peace when you travel to hill stations and towards greenery, towards like somewhere where the climate is very cool and calm and it is filled with greenery, waterfalls. Okay, so such places everyone likes. Okay, so obviously when you go for traveling to these kind of places, you always feel at peace. Your mental health will be calm. Okay, so it'll wherever, if you are very stressful, see for example when you're very stressful about your day-to-day life and you are not able to cope up with your daily activities, you have to take a break. Okay, you have to take a break and go visit different places so that you will come back to your calm peace state. Okay, your mental health always should be in your control. Okay, you should know how to have a good health, good mental health. Okay, so yeah, everyone loves traveling. Okay, so the second question, which of our behavior or gestures do you think appear strange to foreign visitors? Okay, so we have many mannerisms. Okay, many things define us. For example, uh, we usually don't hug, or we don't bow when we see each other, when we see some other people, but we just say namaskar. Okay, so that is our Indian culture, saying namaskar. Okay, so now we have adopted foreign culture and we say hi, hello. Okay, but usually our Indian culture where we say namaskar to the person who is front of us. Okay, so that is our gesture, but yeah, it might look very different for other people. Okay, and we are very noisy, we are very we just talk very loudly. Okay, this might sound very strange for foreign visitors who visit India, because we talk very loudly. Okay, we don't talk very quietly, or we don't always we will be in a very angry mood, showing anger and talking very loudly. And so that's looks very strange for a foreign visitor. Okay, then do you think living in foreign city, visiting a foreign country makes us aware of our own culture? Yes, of course. Okay, so when you visit a foreign culture, foreign place, foreign country, or foreign city, you will try to know their culture. Like when you're seeing their culture, you will obviously remember that what we will do if we are in this situation. Okay, so for example, when you see some other person in foreign country, like especially in Japan. Okay, so in America, when you see some other person, they will shake their hands and they will hug each other and they will kiss. Okay, so that is the foreign culture. And in Japan, they will bow down. Okay, bow down, that is their culture. And in India, we say namaskar. Okay, so that is our culture. So when you visit foreign city or foreign places, we will obviously remember what is our culture. Okay, so this is the pre-reading activity. We shall start with the lesson. A quarter, okay, Japanese manners. A quarter of an hour in Japan will convince you that you are among exquisitely well mannered people. People who live on a hopelessly overcrowded island have to respect one another's privacy, or rather, would have to if they had any privacy, but they don't. So, courtesy has a double function. It is courtesy and it is substitute privacy. Take, for example, the little red telephones in the streets, shops, halls, or of hotels. The instrument is situated on the table or on a counter. They have no space to spare for booths. You conduct your most confidential business transaction, your intimate love quarrels in public, yet in perfect privacy. Any passerby could listen in, but nobody does a man's telephone receiver in his castle. Okay, so here, what does it talks about? So the lesson talks about the math. In the beginning, we will see how the Japanese manners, mannerism, behavior. Okay, so yeah, we shall start, and I have read one paragraph. So here, Japan is a very small island country. Okay, it's very small. It is very small. See, for example, when the country is so big and people are very high population. Okay, very much populated country, there it is difficult to give privacy, because there are more of crowded, it is more crowded, people are more, and there is little bit difficult for a privacy, but you have to try to give privacy for each and everyone. Okay, so now it in Japan, what it talks about Japan's mannerism. So Japan is a small island country, and you already know that Japan is always subjected to natural disasters. Okay, so I think you have heard about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, where the nuclear bombs were put on the Japan. Okay, so this nuclear bombs and Hiroshima, Nagasaki, where Japan is always subjected to nuclear disasters. Okay, because it is always targeted. It is always targeted country, and it is always like messed up. Okay, so this country is always like a messed up, because it has gone through many natural disasters. Okay, So it has gone through natural disasters, and it has nothing like it has kept everything same. Okay, it has not built any buildings, it has not cleared any stuff. Okay, all the stuffs during the natural disasters, whatever it has been taken, everything is as it is. Okay, and because, and one more thing, to start off, Japan people are very well mannered people. Okay, they are very well mannered and very like they always keep discipline, mannered, morals. Okay, so Japan, as I already told you, it has gone through nuclear bomb attack, and Japan has learned lot of patience. Okay, since it has gone through um, many nuclear attacks, many nuclear disasters, bombs, wars, okay, bloodshed, everything. Okay, Japan has gone through all these things, but still it has learned lot of patience because of all these disasters. Okay, so children, even children are thought to be very patient. Okay, children are taught, they are taught in the home, in the class, to be very patient. And here in the first paragraph we can see there are telephone booths. Okay, so here the first thing is Japans are very well mannered. The second thing is here the booths. Okay, you know that telephone booth, right? Telephone booth on the public places. Okay, so here they respect privacy. Okay, red telephones, it is like a castle. Okay, so here telephone booths, they don't have telephones, I mean the phones, they don't have any booths like we always have that box, inside that there is a telephone kept. Okay, in our country it was that. Okay, there was a box, and inside that the telephones are kept. And every passerby will always look at you when you're talking or screaming or shouting. They always look at you in our country. Okay, that is our culture, because we are used to it. When someone is talking loudly, you hear them, or when someone is quarreling, you see them talk. When they are talking, you hear. So that is our culture. But in Japan, they respect privacy. They don't have any booths to keep the telephones. It is just kept on a table. Okay, so you can see that there is yeah, the telephones in the streets, shops, halls. The instrument is situated on the table or on the counter. They have no space to spare for booths. There are no booths. Okay, but the person who is talking, the person who is talking on the phone can have any business transactions on the phones, or love quarrels, but everything will be in perfect privacy, because the people in Japan, okay, the people in Japan love privacy and respects others privacy. They also love privacy and respect others privacy. And here the man who is speaking on the phone can feel that it is his castle, it is his palace, or it is his home. Okay, so that he don't have to get disturbed, who is hearing to me, who is seeing, watching at me. So there is nothing, because people always, and the people in Japan who are always people who respect privacy. Okay, so we shall continue from here in the next class.